I'm Samantha.
And I'm Kayla.
And welcome to another episode of Couvered.
Yes, and today we are going to talk all about how do you know you are ready for marriage.
Ooh. Marriage,
you know? Given the topic, it's about relationships, right? And everybody is always talking about their icks.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to know, what is your Christian ick? The church, about the religion, what is the ick?
I think maybe for me,
or your man.
I'll do both. I'll make it quick. Okay, I think about faith in general. I think my ick is everyone thinks that they're right. It's always oh, I think I'm better than you or stuff like that. And it's they say that they don't judge. They say that, and it definitely is hard for a lot of people. You have to really work on not judging somebody, but at the same time, it's you feel the looks.
So okay, having an opinion on everything in the judgment.
My second ick, it's more so when a man isn't leading. I think it does come with their faith, growing in their faith and their comfortability with their relationship with God, being able to do some of these things. But I don't particularly, I guess it wouldn't be an ick, but it's just an ick if you're not why do I have to ask you to do let's go to prayer, let's go to you know what I mean? Yeah.
Listen, I definitely agree. I feel a lot of Christian influencers mislead the masses because they make it seem you have to find the most godly man.
Yeah.
And realistically, everybody's walk is different.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make them any less worthy of love, and God will work on them in their own time. But that's something I had to really change my heart about. And instead of complaining about it to him, I really had to start just going to pray.
Yep. I agree.
All you can do.
I agree. No, I agree. And that's also what I've been doing, just praying about it and also trying to lead by example. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was a whole testimony that I had seen on TikTok about a woman who her husband wasn't much of a godly man.
Uh-huh.
I think I showed it to you before, but
he's not the one that got cheated on.
No.
Okay.
But he wasn't much of a godly man, but she completely gave her life to Christ, and she would pray over him, but nothing was working. So instead she just started leading by example, and that's when he was he sees the joy on her, the light on her, and it was I want that too.
I did see this video from this lady. She was married for 30 years, and she was your husband is your first ministry. And that really spoke volumes to me, because it's that's your first chance to practice, to really show how God is working or God can work. And I think sometimes as women, it just gets lost.
I'm still pretty new in my walk with Christ, within the past year and a half, really. So I've been with my partner for 6 years, and it's just during that I was just new, so he's also just new as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't expect him to grow as fast as I am, because everyone's walk is different.
Yeah.
So I think in my case, it's just ministering, my first ministry, and just continuously just making sure God is in the middle of our relationship. But with the whole leading thing, I know that would just come on its own, because I have no doubt that will happen. It's just his
Okay, so my ick is I hate when pastors say, and my daddy, I don't know, I just don't know what it is about it, but it's something about calling God daddy. And if I'm watching a sermon, I will literally turn it off. I can't listen to it anymore.
No, that's fair.
And they just keep doing it. They'll be because my daddy said, that's my ick.
No, that's a very valid ick. And to have an ick,
relationship
ick?
My relationship ick would be weaponized incompetence. They should have never taught me that word. Certain things need to be done. If you see it, do it. But it's men, they see it and then I'll do it later. And later never comes. Or it comes when you remind them. So
when you start doing it.
Yeah, when you start angrily doing it. So I would say maybe that's my ick. Weaponized incompetence.
Yeah. I definitely think these are things that, like, you know, it can change and it can grow, and there's a reason why we choose to stay with these people committed, because there was something I just saw, and it was like marriage literally is about like your sanctification of like love or like God or don't go me on that, but basically it's like it teaches you, marriage teaches you the real true definition of unconditional love, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like, you know, perfect, and you're going to have so many like disagreements and ways to do things and whatever it may be, but you love them anyways.
Let me tell y'all something. A week before our wedding, we were beefing. We were not cool. Like, we were cool, but like I was definitely upset. And I think like, I mean, everybody's different, but sometimes like things just happen, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's never going to be perfect. But
no.
if you sign those papers, you know, you better make it work.
Yeah, you got to.
Okay, on to the next thing, guys. This past weekend, we had a very, very, very big moment for our host here, Sam, and she has some news to share with us.
I'm engaged. I'm a I literally cannot stop screaming every single time I say it.
Yes.
I'm just like excited.
Oh, but that's the way to be.
Yeah.
So don't forget to tell her congratulations in the comments down below, okay? Or I'm gonna side eye you.
Thanks in advance.
How does it feel? Does it feel any different? Because people always ask that.
Really?
Like, do you feel any different now that you're engaged?
I feel like that's the same thing as like birthdays. You know, where it's like, do you feel? I mean,
no,
I definitely do ask the same thing. Though, I'm like, oh, you feel old?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like, I mean, you know, our relationship was just like, it made sense. It was the next step, and like, because, you know, we love each other so much, this was something that was going to happen eventually. Like, we were both on the same page. But like, I think what really got me excited, which I do think, like, I do feel like slightly different, is that I feel so like, I don't know, official. I don't know, like, that's official. Yeah, I don't know if it's
no, that's the word.
That's the word.
That's the word.
Grown. Yeah, grown. I don't gotta say boyfriend anymore.
Yeah.
But I think like with the way I feel, it's kind of just like I am ready. Like, I know I'm ready, and now like once we really tie the knot, like I get to start a family. Like, it feels like a brand new beginning.
Do you feel like, because I feel like people started to take our relationship more seriously, like, do you feel the same thing? Like, people like respect it more in a sense, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
I do get what you're saying, because like my mom like, mind you, I've been with Jordan for 6 years now, and up until we got engaged, which was a week ago or something, she would still like be like, oh, you know, if it's meant to be, like, if you guys plan on staying together. Actually, she told me this literally last week, and he asked them, like, he asked for their permission, like, I think last month or two.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And so she literally said it the other day, so maybe she was just like, you know, anything could happen. But I haven't heard her say it since, so.
And I found, like, especially strangers, like, when you start telling them, like, oh yeah, my fiance, or, you know, I'm engaged, they're gonna be like, oh, like, wow. It's like they put more respect on your name.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, honestly, I'm not gonna take this back, but I do feel like it makes sense, because if there was no like sense of officialness around surrounding fiancés or marriage, then what would be the point? You know, that is the point, to be more official, to make it like a legal commitment.
Exactly.
So you should feel like it is more official.
Right.
It is.
I agree. It is, like, you know, people I feel like do take it a little bit more seriously, which, yeah, I get it. So, you know,
it's a pro.
Yeah, it is. But like, either way, it was a serious relationship, but they do take it more seriously. So.
And how did you know you were ready? And I'll break this question down into 2 more parts. Like, how did you know you were ready? And then did you guys discuss it prior to it happening? because I'm sure some people out there like thinking about it, but they don't know how to go about it. So if you could give them like advice on how to go about saying, hey, I'm ready.
I feel like I would say I'm the wrong person to ask, but it's like in my head I'm just like, I am dating to marry, not necessarily like, because when we started dating I was 17, so like it's not like I'm thinking about marriage when we started dating, but it's like, why would I be dating if I don't see it long term? You know, so at least in my head I'm just like, it's gonna be long term, otherwise like why are we together? So I think I've always kind of known, like, you know, when the time is right. I know for a fact, for me at least, I wanted to wait until like the milestones that I consider as like very priority to me, if that makes sense.
Like colleges.
Yes, exactly. So like I told him like years ago, like I wanted to wait until after college. Not that he was thinking about it maybe or not, but either way, like I just want to make it clear, like I want to graduate first, you know, and then as soon as I graduate, like you can do whatever you please. So, but it is something that we did talk about prior to that, and I think what helped us was the fact that we were both on the same mindset. I think like we both were like, okay, we're dating, this is long term, we want it to be long term, and we do want to get married in the future, if not with each other but with somebody. So we both had that same, I think, mindset. And if you're in a relationship with somebody and they don't even want to get married ever in the future, like, and but you do, you can't really expect them to come around, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's where people kind of mess up. They think they can change somebody. So
that definitely makes sense. And I know some people feel like weary about talking about it before it happens, but like, how else are you gonna know
that's why I'm confused.
Ready, you know? Some people feel like, well, if he wanted to, he would, but how's he gonna know? How is he?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me. That's why, like, when people like have those type of conversations or expectations, I'm just like, how? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, that's just me, you know. But like, it can still be a surprise, guys, even if you talk about it.
Speaking of surprise, this girl here, it's like she wanted to ruin it. She wanted to know when, where, why, and how. She asked so many questions, and everybody was just like, Sam, sit there and just stop.
Okay, you know, I didn't directly ask, but you know, some of my actions did seem like, you know, I might have wanted to know, but I didn't want to know. I really wanted to be surprised, but at the same time, you know,
you wanted to know.
I wanted to know. Like, I don't know. Like, I love, like, guys, I love surprises, but at the same time, I like knowing this stuff
that's gonna happen.
Like, I know. When I tell you guys, I knew he was going to propose. I did know he was, like, I had a strong feeling. I mean, anything could have happened. He could have been like, psych, I don't know. But I already knew, like, he was going to propose. It was just like, it still made me excited though. Like, I wasn't trying to like ruin my surprise, so I wasn't trying to look too much into it. But like, there were certain things where it was just like, oh, checking people's location, and it's like, oh, everyone's location's off.
Weird.
That's awkward. Then me trying to call some of my friends after it happened, getting no answer. Like, that was crazy too. I was like, that's crazy.
Awkward.
I don't know, but yeah. Well, how did you know you were ready?
Oh, how did I know I was ready? I knew I was ready when, I'm gonna be very honest, right? Think of this as like coming from your big sis, little sis, whatever. But when he was willing to deny his flesh in order to continue to build a relationship with me, because I had seriously went no, like I can't do it. And I remember crying on my way, leaving his house, and I was crying. I was like, God, just take him out of my life because I can't do it myself, and he's not getting it. He doesn't understand. And then that night we did a I'm pretty sure I told you, but we did a Bible study. And it was literally about like the whole sex before marriage, and we realized his wrongs, and basically we were able to work it out, and we've been stuck ever since. That was what, like, it was January of 2023.
Wow.
Because we started work in March. My next question was, I want to read the favorite verse to talk about when it comes to love, 1 Corinthians 13,
I love that verse.
4 through 5, you know, the usual.
Yes.
Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, and it keeps no record of wrongs. With that being said, which one of those do you think you need to like work on before like actually tying the knot? Like what is there a specific area that you feel like I could use a little bit more work?
The anger part, slow to anger. And the reason, I mean, there's some on there that I probably still need to work on too. Like, you know, there's always growing. You can always grow more, do better. But the first thing that came to my mind was because it literally just happened the day before I got engaged. And we were on the way to, I'm not proud of it, guys, a worship night at our church. Well, at like a church event. And I was getting frustrated. And this happens quite often. This is not the first time. And he even said, like, I knew you were going to get frustrated because it always happens when we're in traffic. When we're on the way somewhere and we're in traffic, he drives safely. I drive safely, but I will push it to get where I'm going. Even if it's just a few seconds quicker. It probably does not make too much of a difference, but it will really get me. That gets under my skin. And if, like, he doesn't drive a certain way, or if he doesn't, like, go somewhere or take directions the way that I tell him to, and he tries doing some own thing, like, it will make me really upset. And I will start to tweak. Like, it'll get bad. And what's crazy is that, like, to be fair, in my opinion, I thought I was slow to anger because something had happened and the way he was driving, and then I was like, okay. But then something else happened again, and I was like, and then it was a lot of traffic, and so it was really just bothering me so bad. And then at that point, like, even in my head, I was telling myself, Samantha, don't say that. Samantha, like, that's not nice. And I still say it anyways, which, like, I should know better. Yeah. And I do know better, which is the issue. So I think that is something that I need to work on, which I already told him I would, and I was already praying over it, and I was like, you know, something that I will actively work on. So
okay, same for me. It's not really like traffic that does it for me. I don't know what it is. Like, I just have certain things that just push me. But as soon as I feel myself getting mad, because when I get mad anyways, I normally just shut down. Like, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk because I'm getting mad. So I just started to literally, as soon as I feel it, I'll be like, God, please change my heart. Because it's not that serious. Please change my heart. And most of the time, instantly, like, I do feel a change. And I'm like, it's not even worth it. So I'll just lighten up a little bit. But I know exactly what you mean, because it's just certain buttons that get pressed. So I literally have to go pray as soon as I feel mad. Yeah. So I can just...
No, I think I need to take some notes and do exactly what you're doing.
So I think I struggle with kindness in times of anger. Okay. I think that's a good way to put it. Like, if he does something I don't like, I don't know how to say it in a nice way. Okay. And I've been trying to work on, like, figuring out how to word things in a way that's appropriate. Yeah. And one thing that has helped is, like, how would I want him to say it to me? Okay. So that's been helping me. But, like, whenever I'm trying to confront an issue or something like that, I don't ever want it to come out of, like, mean-spiritedness. You know, I want to be like, hey, I didn't really like when you did this because it made me feel X, Y, and Z. Yeah, how can we, like, prevent this in the future? Versus, like, this is stupid. Why would you ever, like, think to say that to me or whatever? You know, so I think that's my downfall. Trying to maintain the kindness in the midst of anger. So I'm going to close this out with Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. So even if, like, I know some people say that marriage may not be in the cards for them, and totally understand. But for those of you who are in relationships and getting engaged, planning to get married, like just know that no matter what society says and what society pushes, that it's always going to be a great thing to be a wife, and it's never anything to look down on, no matter like how people try to spin it. So what I'm trying to say is don't let people make you feel bad for loving being a wife or wanting to be a wife. It's still a beautiful thing, and marriage is something to be enjoyed between two people, and it's a blessing to be able to experience that. So that's what I was trying to say.
And take it from a wife. She is a wife, okay? So you don't gotta take it from somebody who's just in a relationship and it's just like a boyfriend girlfriend. I'm not saying it's not serious, because I just got engaged, but like a wife, she has some credibility to her name, okay?
Just a smidge.
Just a little bit. But I think I wanted to add really quickly as well, like even after being engaged for literally a very short amount of time, less than a week, I've already had like people like make certain comments, not necessarily negatively, but what it kind of like, I guess, taught me, taking it in a whole different perspective than what they originally said, was that one, marriage does not, or your life does not end when you get married.
No,
it does not. And it doesn't matter whether or not you marry young. It matters whether or not you are mature and whether or not you actually know what you want, because there are people who are much older who get into marriages or are together for so long and they still don't want to get married, or they are married and they get divorced, or whatever it might be. It doesn't change a person if you get married young. It just depends whether or not you know what you want, and
if you're willing to commit to it.
If you're willing to commit to it, and as long as you guys are both on the same page and you guys are keeping God in the forefront and as your top priority and everything, like for me, I don't see where that is gonna ever be an issue, being married at a young age. So
don't let fear stop you, and don't let the what if stop you. If you are in the situation to be engaged or get married, you're there for a reason. Of course, if it's a healthy relationship.
Right.
So just use that relationship to honor God and let Him do what He needs to do with your relationship.
I agree.
That's all we have for you guys today. Thanks for stopping by as always. And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.